Melissa Hortman will be remembered as the most consequential speaker in Minnesota history. I get to remember her as a close friend, a mentor, and the most talented legislator I ever known.
A final farewell for a slain DFL leader and her husband. Hundreds packing the pews to honor their life and legacy. Thanks for joining us. Melissa and Mark Hortman were remembered for their life of public service and connecting to the community. An emotional mass moved many to tears at St. Mary's Basilica in downtown Minneapolis this morning. Leaders, including former President Joe Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris, came from across the state and country to pay their respects to the political powerhouse. Our Caroline Cummings was at that poignant service remembering the Hortmans. She's live now in Minneapolis. Caroline?
Well, hi there, Derek. It was a beautiful service to remember two people who lived their lives with grace and compassion for others. Melissa Hortman's legacy through public policy she spearheaded at the Minnesota legislature will endure for generations. But more important than her role as House Speaker, she was a daughter, wife, mother, and friend. And Mark was a steadfast supporter of his wife, Melissa, an adoring father, and a man of many interests and hobbies. 1,500 people were invited to remember the Hortmans' lives and legacy. Among those were many state lawmakers in both parties, in both chambers, as they grieve the loss of Melissa and Mark Hortman and grapple with the impact of this unthinkable act of political violence. Governor Walz and DFL State Representative Zach Stevenson were pallbearers.
It was such an honor to be there. I mean, Mark and Melissa were just exceptional humans that I was lucky enough to know for a very long time, but it's the way that they lived their life that was so exceptional, the way that they were kind to everybody and put others' needs before their own.
She used her power to give a voice to people who didn't feel like they had a voice, and I hope that's how she's remembered.
One of the most moving moments of the service was when Colin Hortman, their oldest child, read aloud a prayer of St. Francis of Assisi that Melissa Hortman had in her wallet. Make me a channel of your peace. I can't think of anything more beautiful to capture their legacy in Minnesota. Derek.
Yeah, we heard many beautiful messages today. Thank you, Caroline. Another one of the powerful moments came from a close family friend.
My father died unexpectedly in 2004 in Maryland. Melissa Hortman dropped everything to fly to Maryland to be with me. And Mark Hortman caught everything so she could be with her friend. From Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, some of you say joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come. And when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. We are buried in sorrow right now. But I do believe that we will experience joy again, and Mark and Melissa would not want it any other way. Goodbye, my friends.